What's up guys, it's Adam FPL and welcome back to another video here on my channel. In this video I'm going to go through my points in Game Week 22 and how my team went on, how my team is looking up for Game Week 23 and for the future game weeks, and what my transfers are and what I'm planning to do with my team to maximize my potential for the upcoming double game weeks. With that being said, if you guys like the content, I'd really appreciate if you guys liked and subscribed. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the season and that would be truly amazing. But nevertheless, I love making these videos and hopefully my content and tips help you guys as much as possible. So with that being said, let's get into the video and let's go into my points for Game Week 22. So in Game Week 22, I got a pretty solid 88 points actually. Pretty happy with that. The Game Week average was 57 here, as you can see. So almost 30 points, actually 30 points above average, 31, and the Game Week rank was 450k about. So anytime I'm in the top 1 million for Game Week rank, I'm pretty happy with that. So it's actually a pretty solid Game Week for me overall, with most of my players returning. As you can see, the rank went up about 96k to 306,000, up from about 400 some. So a nice little rank boost, and I'm really happy to be getting up there, and hopefully I can keep getting those green arrows and climbing closer to that top 200 and top 100k. That's kind of my goal for these upcoming game weeks. So if we get into my team here, basically every player returned except my captain coincidentally, but we can start with the defense. So we first have Martinez with 4 points. He played against West Ham, and this was kind of an interesting game, kind of hard that I thought it was going to be hard to call. And Martinez ended up letting 3 goals, and he still got 4 points. It wasn't his best game for sure. He should have saved a couple of those goals, but he did get 6 saves, and he got a bonus point. So 4 points is amazing for 3 goals, so I'm really happy with that. We then have Cancelo with 6 and Stones with 6. Cancelo came off kind of early. I think he came off in, the 63rd minute, so he 3 minutes away from past the clean sheet mark, so he got the clean sheet points. I think he's being arrested for Liverpool, so he'll probably play then. But yeah, good stuff from him. And then of Justin, wow, what a haul Justin had this game week. He finished with 15 points against Fulham. He had a goal, which is cool, and he had the clean sheet, and he had 3 bonus points. So really good from Justin. If you didn't really have him, it really hurt your rank, because as you guys can see, he's now 29% owned. And I got him in at 4.8, and he's going to be rising in price a little bit more. Look at these fixtures. After these Wolves and Liverpool, he's got a nice little run right here. A nice finish with the goal. He ran all the way from the left flank, and Madison passed him the ball, and he finished it around Areola. A really nice run. We then have Salah, who was my only player who essentially blanked, if you don't count the Martin as a blank. So of course I captained the guy that blanked, but I kind of went with the popular pick here. I actually was telling myself that Brighton's defense was pretty good and has been pretty good lately. And I thought that Bruno was a great option as well. And I think Southampton were looking really leaky in defense the past few weeks. And even though his points were kind of lucky, I'm not surprised to see him and Manchester United do really well against Southampton. And Liverpool are struggling lately. You look at Salah's form here. Other than this right here 15-pointer against West Ham, and with Manchester City up next, I wouldn't be looking to get him or captain him. We then have Grealish with 6 points, a nice 6 points. He's been getting these nice 6 and 7 pointers all season. And then have Bruno, 17 points. He got a penalty and 2 assists and 3 bonus points. Manchester United beat Southampton 9-0, which is absolutely crazy. This is a freak result. Usually never happens, but Southampton did get beat 9-0 last season, so a little bit interesting there. But 17 points, great stuff from him, and the fixtures are really good. So he's a captaincy option in these next 3 games for sure, and he's definitely a hold. Then I have Gundogan, who I got an assist, and he got 2 bonus points. He's so good on bonus points, and he's literally playing the Kevin De Bruyne role at 5.8 million. He's a great option to have right now. And he's just in the form of his life. Starting from this Newcastle game, he's just been getting solid points here all around. He got a nice assist to Sterling. He could have had more if Sterling didn't mess up easy chances like he's notoriously known to do. But Gundogan with 8 points is solid, especially since I benched him for Son, who this was probably one of the hardest calls out of the season for my bench. I was wavering between these two for all week, and I ended up going with the man in form against the easier fixture in Gundogan, and it ended up paying off. And I'm a Chelsea supporter by heart, so it kind of made me happy to see Son blank against my team and for us to get the win. So yeah, Son blank. Spurs are kind of looking iffy without Kane, by the way. This is not something that we're known to see. I guess once the Kane injury came down, past few games, Spurs have looked really lackluster attacking-wise. All 3 of my forwards returned, with Antonio, Bamford, and Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin got a goal, and Antonio got 2 assists. Yeah, 2 assists against Villa. He's looking really good. And Bamford got an assist, and Calvert-Lewin got a goal. He's obviously he's 38% owned, but he's like a differential around my rank as he's in a lot of dead teams. So really nice for Calvert-Lewin, and he's got a double game week coming up in 24 with Fulham as one of the fixtures. Bamford's got nice fixtures, and as is Antonio in the next two. I benched the right players, which is really satisfying. 2 points and 1 point, really good. And so yeah, pretty good game week, and I'm hoping to build on this. So if we go to my game week 23 team, I've made no transfers so far, and I have 2 free transfers, and I have another benching headache this week. What do you know? This is kind of the consequence of me preparing for a bench boost in game week 26 most likely, and I'm going to have to be carrying these solid players on the bench each week. So this is the one con, but we look at the team and it's mostly the same. I'm benching 2 of my Man City players at the moment because it's a Liverpool game, and that's a pretty unpredictable game. I'm playing Cancelo in this game because he's the most attacking out of my 2 defenders, and I think that I fancy an attacking return in that game, or the chances of one, over Stones, who Liverpool could score and Stones could get a 2-pointer, and he's not as likely to get an attacking return. We then have Justin against Wolves. I could play Gundogan or even Calvert-Lewin here, but Justin has been so good for me this season when I've got him, and they're playing a poor Wolves team who are struggling to score at the moment away, and Leicester usually tighten up away. And don't let the Arsenal result fool you about Wolves. Arsenal were controlling that game, and then the Arsenal became Arsenal and got 2 red cards, and Wolves were able to take the game. So that's kind of a fluky game, as Wolves did not look good before those 2 red cards. So I'm very happy about playing Justin. It's just a matter of if I go with it or not, as I have so many good options on the bench. Then of Dallas, who might play a center mid role without Rodrigo, against Crystal Palace, who are probably not going to have Zaha, and Crystal Palace have been not in a great run of form lately, and so I'll take Dallas even if they don't get a clean sheet. If he's playing center mid, he's like a little Lundstrom. I'll play him this week. And Kufal is another nice fixture for Fulham. West Ham are looking great right now, but I could transfer him out for someone else. We'll talk about that in the transfer section of the video. But Kufal is Fulham and Sheffield, so if I do end up keeping him, 2 good fixtures. We then have Grealish, Fernandes, Son, and Salah, the same midfielders I've had for weeks now, it seems like. Grealish against Arsenal, good fixture. Without Leno and David Luiz, Arsenal will be hurting a little bit, and I think Grealish can do some damage here, and I think that Aston Villa's tempo suits this Arsenal game much more than the West Ham game did. And then Fernandes and Son were both captaincy options. Son against West Brom, Fernandes against Everton. These are Fernandes against Everton is kind of an interesting game because I think that Everton are going to be a little more tighter defensively. They should have Doucouré and I think maybe Alan. I'm not sure on that, and Fernandes did get his points only after the 2 red cards. So if Pogba's in the team as well, I think that Fernandes' FPL points chances does go down a little bit, and his chances of getting a return get diminished as Pogba likes to hold the ball more, and Fernandes needs players that move around him and make runs, which is what he's more suited to do. So he basically needs movement around him, and Pogba likes to hold the ball, which doesn't help Fernandes FPL wise. He's still a great player, of course. We then have Son against West Brom. I mentioned Spurs' struggles earlier in the video, but I think that Son is still a great captaincy option who has the best fixture, and West Brom's defensive statistics have been horrible. We then have Salah against City. I don't really know what to expect from this game. 2 of the top teams. I think Man City will win, but I'm never comfortable benching Salah. I just can't look at that. So I think that I'm gonna play him, and he does tend to turn up in big games. And with Mane back, I reckon that Salah maybe could get something here, although I'm not expecting too much as Man City defensively have been amazing this season. We then have Antonio, and you guys look at the team and see he's captain at the moment. But the captaincy I will talk about at the end, but right now he's on captain, and he's just looked great lately. So he's a great option, as is Bamford. And yeah, these 2 forwards have great fixtures this week, so I'll happily play them. The bench could change. Let me know what you guys think about the bench and who I should play. I really enjoyed that feedback from some of you guys in my last video, and I really like seeing other people's opinions, but this is kind of the bench at the moment. Yeah, so if we go to my transfer page, which is something very important in this video, as I have 2 free transfers, as you guys can see, 0.9 in the bank. And with the recent double game week news today, a lot of people have been flocking to Nick Pope of Burnley as their goalkeeper transfer. As you can see, he's got Brighton before the double game week, and then he's got that double game week that they just announced today of Crystal Palace and Fulham, 2 amazing fixtures. I think that Burnley defenders are the way to go. But personally, I can't afford Pope as I'm 0.6 off, so I'll have to be looking elsewhere. And if I look at my defenders, there's really no one I want to get rid of right now with double game weeks in the city, double game week for Dallas, and Justin just has great fixtures overall for the long haul. And I have value tied into him, and he's just so highly owned. A lot of people are looking to actually get him. So with that being said, and I think he actually could have a double game week. So Kufal, even with these fixtures, looks like the one that could get the chopping block. He's got Fulham and Sheffield, although I do think Fulham will be going at them in this one as they need to win this game. And I think that this game could be quite open and there could be some goals for both sides here. But Fulham are kind of hit and miss, either play really good or really bad. But I think that Kufal, if I need to get rid of one defender here for a Burnley defender, could be the one to go. So essentially the weak points in my team are the backup goalie, which I can't get Pope with, and that'd probably be the best option, or Kufal, which is not even a weak point really. It's just I need to use a transfer essentially, and this is kind of where I'm looking towards. So I'm looking towards getting a Burnley defender, either me or Loughton. So the good thing about me is that he's 4.9 million, which is still relatively cheap, and he's got some attacking threat. So if we look at the expected goals here for defenders, Ben Mee ranks top, almost top, behind Tarkovsky, who's more expensive, mind you, and he's been playing less games. And I think that Ben Mee, with 2 goals in his past 4 games, he's got some threat off corners and set pieces, which is kind of Burnley's bread and butter. And I think that Ben Mee is really good for bonus points as well. And this is kind of why I'm looking at Ben Mee. They got great fixtures like I was talking about with Pope, and that double game week just looks too good to pass up. We then have another option in Matt Loughton, who, if we look at Loughton here, he's 4.4 million, so even cheaper. So the plus about Loughton is that he's a good price. But the only thing that I don't like about Loughton is he's got basically no attacking threat. As you can see, no assists, no goals even. He barely gets in the box. He has no attacking threat, but he's got these fixtures, and that's pretty much all you can expect with Burnley. They don't score much, and who knows? He's an outside back, so he could get something there. Yeah, so he's 4.4 million. So if I need the money in the future, I'd look at Loughton. So those are the options. And then in terms of the future, I'd look to get a double game week goalie in, possibly like Fulham's goalie Areola. And then I'd look to be getting, if Stones doesn't start this week and Laporte does, that'd be kind of questionable. And maybe I could shift. This is a little sideways, but maybe I could shift to DS as another option after this week. And yeah, eventually get rid of Calvert-Lewin for Watkins in the double game week 26. And these are kind of the things I'm looking for, and maybe even Kane. Yeah, so but for this week, most imminently, I'm looking to get probably a Burnley defender like Loughton or me. So let me know what you guys think about that transfer, and yeah, that's pretty much it for the transfers. If we look at Captaincy quickly, there's a few options actually here this week. Essentially, I would be between Grealish, Fernandes, Son, Bamford, and Antonio. So Grealish has Arsenal, like I said before. They're going to be battered with the 2 red cards. Leno's a big miss, and he's a good option, differential option. Most people are probably going to be going with Fernandes and Son. As you can see, Son has West Brom, but given Spurs' struggles lately, and without Kane, it's kind of going to be hard to captain Son, even though I don't see Tottenham battering any team right now, even though it's West Brom. And the whole team looks so discombobulated on the attack without Kane. He's just so central to their attack. So I don't know. He is my vice. He's still a great option. I'm maybe overthinking this, but I don't know. Spurs just don't look like a very high-scoring, high-flying team to me right now. Fernandes against Everton, another tough game to call. He's the safe shield pick you'd go for. But currently I'm on Antonio, and the reason why is he's got Fulham, first of all, and Fulham have not been great defensively recently, and he's just been exploding ever since he came back. He's getting these returns every week, and another thing that is really making me think is if we look at these stats, this is on Twitter, by the way, an account I really like to follow, FPL Canuck, posted some stats with West Ham over the last 4 game weeks when Antonio comes back in the starting 11. So they're first in big chances created, second in goals from inside the box, and second from goals from set plays, and third from big chances total. So as you can see, Antonio coming back has been a revelation for West Ham, and I think that he just makes that whole team so much better, and their attack is looking lethal lately against basically any team, and Fulham have been really struggling lately. I don't like how they've been looking, and I think that Antonio is due for some points here. It's always a risk captaining a forward, but I think that he's a really good option this week. And yeah, that's pretty much it for captaincy. Bamford an option as well. But yeah, that's going to pretty much wrap up the video. If you guys enjoyed the video and enjoy the content, and if you made it this far, drop a like on the video, smash the button, subscribe if you're new, if you like the content, and yeah, hopefully everyone has a good game week. That's gonna be it for me. It's Adam FPL, and I'll see you guys in the next video on the other side of the game week. Cheers. Bye.